Hey, Mish.
Hey.
I got some really good ideas. I got the Lederhosen for the German court cousins this episode.
Regular basketball is coming back next week. We don't need to do this stuff anymore. We can get serious now. All right, give me the mic.
Welcome, everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 29. My name is Kyle. I'm joined, as always, by my cousin, my co-host, Jason the Peach. We've got a wonderful show for you, ladies and gentlemen. But before any of that, at the top, we want to send all our love and all of our best to you second cousins out there down in Florida, recovering and coming out of Hurricane Ian. Y'all are strong. You got this. We're with you, and we're sending love your way. Keep it up, everyone.
Indeed, everybody, hang in there. There's a lot of stuff to be done and rebuilt in there, but as long as you're safe, all those things can be rebuilt.
Yeah. And we're hoping here that this gives you a little bit of respite from some of the more serious things going on in life, that hopefully episode 29 here, you get some laughs, you hear about the team you love, the Orlando Magic, and it gives you some excitement, a little bit of a pause button, if you will, Peach.
And personally, if you're out of power and you're using the remaining power on your laptop or phone to watch our show, wow, I'm honored.
Those are the diehards right there. True second cousins.
Yeah.
We also have to shout out all of our all-stars and second cousins on our Patreon. They are the fuel that drives this locomotive on this show. Shout out to Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Wally Akbar, Magic Player History, Al, Bernie Piche, Matthew Bell, Dan Young, Gloria and Damien, Yadi, Connor, and the Polish ambassador.
I enjoy nutmeg and cinnamon.
That's a special shout out from Peach and one from Cole.
I enjoy nutmeg and cinnamon.
Ooh, and I can hear all these things going on today.
Yeah.
Thanks to your chiropractor, Sid, who came over and helped us out with some sound stuff and gave us these headphones. So now I get to hear some of the stuff going on. And man, I'm excited about that. It sounds good.
You sound silky smooth.
It sounds
baby.
nice. Yeah.
Ooh. So let's get right into the hijinks. As you second cousins know, listeners out there, we always start the show with a social emotional check-in. And lately, Peach, we've been having our Patreon suggest what we do, how we theme our social emotional check-in. But recently, we had some, I don't know if you can call it breaking news, because it's probably been this way for a while, but it's new news to us.
Well, it's new news to him.
Yeah. Out of Magic Training Camp, and you probably know what we're talking about. We're talking about Chuma Are.
Right.
And we've been pronouncing his name, as has he for his life, Chuma Okeke, but he did some digging into, his cultural background, and he's realizing that it actually should be pronounced Okeke. And we just so happened to do a couple weeks ago a Patreon suggestion, do a Chuma Are You Okeke check-in.
Right.
And now that it's officially Chuma Okeke, we just got to rock with it.
We're here.
Yeah.
We've done it.
We
found a replacement just in time for the beginning of the season.
Yes.
The great Rolo.
Yes.
And it's this. And to be honest, I was leaning towards the Big Chum check-in before we even started this whole thing.
You really did like
and
that.
I understand that name is now
It's
needs
weird.
to go away because
It's weird,
this is
yeah.
much better. But I'm just glad we landed here because Chuma's supposedly the funniest guy on the team. He's got the most personality, but it seems like we don't always see that.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring it to you here for our check-ins.
So, Peach, I'll ask you for the first official Chuma Are You Okeke check-in. How you doing, sir?
I am doing better than last week. All the confusion I had has been kind of figured out, and I made up this graphic here of Chuma going up for a rebound and against Tobias Harris there, and he's reaching for the stars, and that's kind of what I've been doing lately, is kind of taking life and grabbing it and going for it. And I'd like to also give you a shout out and thank you, because I know, during the course of talking with you, we had a moment where I was like, I don't know, I think I kind of want to get a Jeep, and you're just like, get it, do it. And I was like, it was such simple advice that I was like, yeah, he's right. Yeah. Life's too short to not drive something you don't like, especially if you're paying for it. And here we are.
There
I've
it
got
is.
the Jeep.
Sexy.
Got that figured out. Got things figured out at work. We're going in a good direction in all ways. Going up, reaching for that ball, coming down with the board strong. So that's how I'm feeling. How you doing? Are you feeling okay, Kay?
I am feeling better than OKK.
All right.
I'm great. I don't know what I meant by that. I have a picture here of Chuma, I think from training camp last year. He's in kind of just practice attire. And I added in Canva very hastily before this show some fireworks, some explosions, because I am just so excited now that we're going into training camp here. Preseason's not even a week away as we record this show. Yeah, a few days. And, we also have some fun things this weekend, you and I, going to the Basketball Hall of Fame, hitting the New England Northeast card show, something like that.
Yep.
So a lot of excitement, a lot of fireworks coming here as we're moving into the season. Keep an eye out for that later in the show, perhaps.
Yeah, fair enough. This is going to be a dope show. We've filmed it in some segments here, but I'm already going to say you're going to enjoy us at the Basketball Hall of Fame. We haven't even figured out exactly what we're doing yet, but we do have some good ideas. And also probably some stuff from the card show. And then Jay is back with our new soundboard, sounding good, with a great segment of combining Magic the Card Gathering and Magic Down Under, the game show. It's going to be great. This could be one of our most fun shows without basketball to talk about. So thank God we'll have some basketball back to kind of fill this time. I'm sure everybody else in the Magic community has been feeling that too. We've talked a lot of these topics to death.
Yeah.
Today might be the last time we talk about it without any actual
basketball to look at.
Back it up.
Yeah.
So bear with us for this last show. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, thanks for doing the show rundown, Peach. I didn't actually go through the agenda at the beginning of the show.
Weird, because usually you hit that hard.
Well, we our hearts are really with our second cousins down there. We wanted to make sure that we let them know that. So
that's definitely way more important than the rundown of the show.
and people probably know our second cousins out there. You all know how this goes. So we're going right into our first segment. Always has been. Maybe we should switch it up from time to time. I've always suggested, hey, Peach, can we do social media roundup somewhere else in the show? But Peach likes it in the beginning.
I like it in the beginning because it's usually news-based.
True.
And because we're every 2 weeks, some of the stuff is kind of old.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about it at the front, get it out of the way.
Okay.
And set the table for things we might talk about in more depth later.
And we really
I
are.
just feel like
we're
if
men
it
of
went somewhere else, it wouldn't really fit.
We're men of the people, so it's fitting to put the people up front.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it. We talked about training camp going on, and the six-man show may have a sentiment that is echoed with you all out there, second cousins. They write, Markelle missing training camp, J.I.'s not ready, Gary missing training camp, ellipses. Now the team is missing practices because of the hurricane. Not a great start to the year.
Yeah, I don't want to belittle any of the hurricane stuff for sure, but as far as the first part of that paragraph goes, I think every team has got some injury, something that is not completely perfect before training camp. If this is what we're looking at versus like what we were looking at going into training camp last year, I like it more. Yeah. Last year there were too many questions, and I feel like now there's more solid answers. Markelle's not going to be gone super long. J.I.'s not quite ready, but sounds very close, but I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
But, I mean, there's a lot of other things to be excited about on this team that I'm not going to let this little bit of shade ruin the sunshine that we got going on.
That's a different segment for another time, sir. We're not doing that one today.
No, that one's not in today.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, when I saw the news of Markelle coming down with the fracture in the toe, I had a reaction probably similar to many of you out there, and Magic 24/7 had a reply to this that's kind of similar to how I felt. It's like the wind was let out of my sails a little bit. I was really excited to see this team burst onto the scene right from the jump, and then to have Gary with the meniscus. Okay, we found out it, not that serious, hopefully 4 to 8 weeks. That could be right around the start of the season. Okay, dodged a bullet there. Then the toe from Markelle. Oh my gosh, no! I mean, how many times have I lauded on this show how much of a Markelle stan, as the kids are saying, I am. I just he is the guy for me.
I know.
And so to see him go down, but okay, he just was maybe eating a snickerdoodle while walking around the crib and stubbed his toe. All right.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Man. Yeah, of course. I mean, Put in the comments your dessert of choice that has caused you to stub a toe in your house.
I am sure that the pain of that happening in the moment was way more painful than anything he's experienced since. So he's already on the mend.
All right. Well, that's it. He's on the mend. He's in good spirits. He was walking around even without a boot during media day. So it seems to be all good. I think we'll have our whole roster back first couple weeks.
Yeah.
After the first couple weeks of the season. So a sigh of relief. Jonathan Isaac, I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. We get one message from him. Weltman's playing the tight-lipped ship as always. I don't know what's going to go on.
I don't know. There's really nothing in the human body that should take this long to recover from. I mean, unless it's a mental health issue.
Sure.
Like anything physically shouldn't take this long unless something else happened that's separate. I don't know if he is also stubbing his toe over desserts or what's going on, but like, what is the delay? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he had the minor hamstring surgery, as it was stated. I don't even recall. That was at the end of last season, so probably February, March-ish.
Right.
And he says he's fine. We'll see. We're seeing videos of him looking pretty spry, but looking pretty spry when a 5'10" shooting coach is guarding you versus Joel Embiid.
See, this is where the
difference.
2K guys are going to rate his injury rating isn't going to be great. and that happens. And look at what happened to Anthony Davis. I'm sure you saw the clip of him playing with himself on.
Whoa.
Nope.
No. Okay. Verbiage.
He was.
Okay.
He was playing and using his character in the game and like got hurt immediately. And it's like, that is
poetic justice,
baby.
Like, yeah.
I feel bad for him, though, because he's a great player if he's healthy. But anyway, let's move back on. Let's talk more Magic stuff. It was cool to see some familiar faces at the media day.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
And to see, Jeff Weltman interviewing with Jonathan of the Six Man Show. And
yeah.
Just neat to see those guys down there. What a great opportunity for them. That's really cool.
Yeah, seeing guys from Ozone in the media scrum there. Absolutely. Orlando Magic Daily. I mean, these are all guys now that we're starting to interact with. And I expressed to Al from Ozone, I was like, man, that's so cool. Maybe we'll be joining you sometime soon.
Right.
That would be a bucket list thing.
And I would have a list of unimportant questions, but would probably have some fun with the guys.
We'd have to do it differently for sure.
I would have to do it differently. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's move on to what the people want, Peach. Some Bol Bol hype.
I'm on the Bol Bol train. I'm going to tell you.
I mean, friend of the show stopped by last episode.
Sure.
It was so gracious of him. And Mikey Clark, 87 from Orlando Magic UK, is saying, I would not be surprised one bit to see Bol Bol get regular minutes in the rotation.
Oh, especially up front with those two guys maybe out in the beginning, especially with J.I. out.
Right.
Absolutely he will. And it sounds like he's been impressing quite a bit. And I mean, you don't just hear this from one source. It's kind of coming out from everywhere and coming from the players.
Yes.
So that's important. And I even had a couple people reach out to me and go, oh yeah, but Bol Bol's looking good, but are you worried about his frame? He has a similar frame to somebody else he used to talk about. And I'm like, yeah, the difference is that we didn't waste a top pick on Bol Bol. We essentially got him for almost nothing.
Cash considerations,
so if he works
baby.
out, great. And if he doesn't, oh well. But he didn't. We didn't waste the number 1 or number 2 pick on this guy and expect him to be the franchise. There's so many other players on this team that we expect and will contribute in a big way. Anything Bol Bol brings to the table is bonus.
Yeah.
If he's 8 rebounds and 8 points a game, bonus.
Right.
Bring it on. Like whatever it is. But it looks like he could be one of those guys that kind of just breaks it, just creeps out from behind the stage, pulls the curtain back, and steals the show.
Yeah,
and
he could. Who knows?
I'm going to say it for the first time this show. I'm here for
it. T. Ross is one of the guys on his podcast that was really hyping him up. I listened to that segment. I initially thought when I kind of clicked into the podcast that he was talking about Paolo Banchero. And then I went back and kind of listened in the car and I realized he's talking about Bol Bol. He's talking about Bol Bol dribbling over guys' heads, doing those carry moves over, 7-footers around Mo Bamba, taking step back threes, splashing it from everywhere. And Bol himself said on this show last episode that he's about to, fart some rainbows out of his posterior. and he's going to surprise you, Peach. He's going to make
Let's
you
do
maybe rethink your theory on unicorns.
All right.
But let's put a little temperance in here, because this is a guy who has averaged 6.2 minutes in the NBA.
Right.
You know, so
Hard to do anything good in 6.2 minutes.
Right. This is true. And he's played for the Nuggets, which they've had some pretty good big men. I mean, of course, Jokic at the center position,
They were
even
playing
Michael
him in
Porter
garbage time a
Jr.
lot, too,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, so
Not the
was.
same.
They were competing. It's not just like RJ Hampton came over from the Nuggets. It's tough for a young guy to come in and break a rotation when those teams are competing to go to Western Conference Finals potentially.
Right.
I mean, they're in the mix. So we'll see. The kid is 22. He's a kid.
Yeah,
He's 22
exactly.
years old. Let's see what happens.
I mean, whenever I see a ball handler that's that big and lanky, which is becoming more commonplace these days,
Yeah.
I'm always like, yeah, those are impressive moves. But like once they're playing against other NBA style athletes, they're going to steal the ball from that guy like a ton, right? Like unless you're guarding another big man and it's just a backing in situation, it's like a one-on-one situation. Anybody comes over on help defense, by the time that ball hits the floor and gets back up to his 7'2" hand, it's a long time.
That's
Somebody's
like Cole
swiping
Anthony's
that.
height.
Gary Payton would have eaten all that stuff. Like he loved swiping in there. And there's a ton of guys. There's a guy on every team that's a steal master that's going to be looking out for that. So as good as a ball handler as he looks when he's going one-on-one with somebody or just running some drills, keep in mind that once all the other players get out there, there's going to be a lot of hands digging for those balls, and there's a lot of space there for them to get in. So I feel like that, to me, I never get too blown away by those performances that I see, because I'm like, tempered. Once there's other guys on the court, he's going to be a little more susceptible to getting the ball stolen. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
If there's any silver lining in J.I. being gone for question mark,
Absolutely.
get a little Bol Bol here.
Correct.
We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Another guy who was raising some eyebrows at training camp is Cole Anthony, or shall we say Swole Anthony.
Swole.
As Ethan at Jorts Ethan says, he's bringing out the meme from last year,
Right.
the swole SpongeBob. And I'm not a SpongeBob aficionado. Some of you out there might know the episode and moment of this.
Right.
But I feel like this meme comes around every year.
Somebody always hits the gym hard.
It's almost like a badge, I
Right.
feel like, Peach. Whoever
I'm sure
has
all the Mavs
really
podcasts are doing it with Luka.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone, it's the badge for anyone who has really dug in over the offseason, who has put some work in to change their body. And
Gym
this year
dog.
for us, it's Cole Anthony.
Yep. Well, apparently, but I guess from what he says, it's not more working out. It's just eating better.
Yeah. And more.
I enjoy nutmeg and cinnamon.
It could be a nutmeg and cinnamon thing.
Could be.
Could be. I don't know. Maybe that's why everybody gets all hyped for those fall things. I'm not into it, but that's a 25-minute rant that I could go off on how I don't like the fall. So I'll save you for that one.
Way to go living in the Northeast most of your life.
Oh, well, that's what ruins it for you, you know? It's like only football and like the return of basketball and hockey are redeeming in fall.
Well, okay.
But yeah, that's a topic for a different show.
Yeah. Another post here from the Orlando Magic official handle. They had a couple nice tweets. This is a quote from Cole himself where they're saying back to work, and Cole says, quote, "I aim to be an all-star in this league. I don't know why I'd aim to be anything less."
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the kind of mindset that you really want from anybody. I don't think anybody should really want to get into the NBA to be any less. I know I get that like some people may have tempered expectations and realize, oh, I'm going to be a sixth man on this team.
Yeah.
But not when you're this young. When you're that
True.
young, you can still be whatever you want to be. When you get into your late 20s, early 30s, maybe you know your role and you want to go like be a role player on a good team or go to a small market city and be their star. I don't know. You figure that stuff out later. But when you're this young and you've got that much talent and you got that much charisma, you have got
In spades.
to believe that you can do that.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of statement you'd want anyone on the team to make.
That's true. No, I feel that. We definitely want that type of mindset. And I think Cole is also the type of guy who can push himself, but hopefully can shift his mindset at some point and also understands the chemistry of the team. He's definitely a team guy. He's always picking others up.
Yep.
I guess the only trepidation I have here, Peach, is just we've got to have some type of cohesion as a squad. And if his goal and his mindset is to be an all-star,
Yep.
and he's struggling to crack our starting lineup, what does that spell for the future? And we don't want to prognosticate too far down the road because the only thing that exists is the here and now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love this team, and I really want to see them stay together.
Right.
And a part of that is going to be Jamal Mosley's job this year of really clearly defining roles.
Sure.
And, I don't think maybe it's not a crazy thing or a crazy concept for Cole Anthony to be a starter, especially now with Gary Harris out.
No, I don't
There's a
think
good debate to be had between he and Jalen as to who's going to maybe start in that 2 guard.
Right.
The only thing we see Swole Anthony, maybe that can help him in terms of finishing at the rim this year. He finished 55% of those looks last year. Sounds pretty good, but that's only 28th percentile in terms of guards. That's not that great. And he shot 34% from 3. Dropping some statistics on you here, Peach.
Right.
34% from 3. That's not gonna crack you the starting lineup. You got to get closer to 40%. Even the first 2 months of last year, you remember that of last season, where we thought he was, a world beater essentially. People were in the Magic community were going crazy. He was dropping like 20 a game. Even then, he was only shooting 36% from 3.
Right, but he shot more.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not great.
No.
Still, it's not an elite level.
I get it.
So we gotta see how Cole continues to develop. At the beginning of last season, I drew a comparison between Cole Anthony and Darius Garland on the unreleased and now I think unfortunately lost episode 2 of Court Cousins Peach.
Oh.
I drew a comparison between he and Darius Garland, and Darius Garland elevated to fringe all-star,
right,
whereas Cole kind of stayed in that area of not very efficient scorer.
Right.
So can he this year, now that he's swole, maybe he takes a leap in terms of drawing fouls better, finishing on and ones, things like that, and then stepping up that 3-point percentage. If he kind of can put all those things together, then all right, I can see that he could compete for a starting job on this squad. And maybe down the road, I don't know what happens with Markelle. I love Markelle, but you do kind of need to shoot in this league. We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, with all the work, there's nobody on the Orlando Magic that I have seen off-season workouts of more than Cole Anthony. Whatever platform I'm on, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, I see the most highlights of him either working in the gym or working with the lethal shooter, as we've talked about before. I got to imagine those shooting percentages and stuff are going to go up, and he's picked up enough in his first 2 seasons to now take that jump. So he's going to have an opportunity to get starter minutes, I think, especially in the beginning, especially if Markelle's not back from day one. I don't see how he's not in the starting lineup.
Yeah, well, if Markelle's not back,
let's see what he's got. And this is that season for a lot of guys.
Sure.
You could make that after like 25, 30 games.
Yeah.
We'll have a good concept of who's where, who should be cycling in where. And, Mosley's got to figure that stuff out too. So he's part of that conversation, and his ceiling is as high as all-star and it's as low as bench, but that's up for him to play it out and earn that spot. And if I was a betting man, which I now am, I would bet in on it because I feel like he's got the attitude.
You're
and
buying
the work
stock.
ethic. I'm buying stock in that. Yeah. Literally, because I have 55 different versions of Cole Anthony rookie cards.
Yeah. Yeah. If Cole Anthony makes a leap, we're going to be flush with cash with all those Cole Anthony
I'll
rookies.
part with some of them.
Part with
not
a
all,
couple.
but I'll part with some, yeah.
I mean, you're right. If Cole Anthony doesn't become an all-star, it won't be from lack of trying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask.
Of course. I'm going to skip now, Peach. I'm going to go to who we just mentioned, his backcourt mate in Jalen Suggs.
We were going to talk about Rafer Alston. Skip to my Lou. No? All right.
Man, I love that guy.
He got it.
All right. So I want to bring up here Hoops Talk 13, Lewis. He's trying to, pour a little water on the excitement potentially, just maybe temper expectations. He says, really hope folks temper Suggs' expectations this year. I know he was banged up, but he has a zero career history of being a good shooter. Not high school, not AAU, not international competition, not college. Temper the expectations. Elite defense and better rim finishing should be the goal. What do you think about that take, Peach?
I don't disagree with the take. I'm not 100% sure that's accurate. I haven't gone back to look at his high school or AAU
Right.
stats.
Yeah, that's fair.
But assuming that is
Where do
all-
you find those?
assuming that's all true, that's totally fine. We have plenty of other guys that can fill it up. I don't need Suggs to score 20 points a game.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like he was going to be that kind of guy when we got him. I thought he was exactly as he said, elite defense and a guy who can cut and get to the rim. And he has made one epic shot, at least in his career, at the buzzer. So he has a clutch vibe to him.
Yeah. And we saw one of his breakout games.
We saw him finish strong against the Bulls, man. That was one of the best dunks of the year, and we were at that game. I was glad to be there for it. He's the spark plug
Type of
guy that does all that the little things.
Yeah.
Drawing charges probably and stuff like that and getting the steals.
Yep.
That's what I need from him. If he has a game where he scores over 20, that feels like that's bonus to me. So my expectations are already tempered. And if anybody's out there thinking that Suggs is going to get to the point where he's a 25 game scorer and
shooting like 35% from beyond the arc this year,
feel like they shouldn't have those expectations in year 2.
Right.
Because usually guys do have a little bit of a slump in the second year.
Okay.
So, let's wait till he gets to that third year like Cole, where he comes out and says, I want to be an all-star this year. I've learned a lot from my first 2 years. So expectations shouldn't be that high.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with the take, really.
Yeah, I think, year 2, Jalen, let's get it from Orlando Magic Handle. They quote Jalen saying, "I feel confident. This is a big year coming up, not only for myself, but for us as a team." I think he understands, the magnitude of what's before him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, he's already proven so much. There's so much weight placed on the offensive side of the ball. It's sexy. That's what puts butts in the seats a lot of times.
Sure.
All right. Charges don't do that all. So that's for you, for most people, Peish. Yeah, I know you love a charge. But he's already our second best defender based on the numbers, based on the defended field goal percentage, who he was 3 feet from when they made the shot. He's at 43.5% in terms of his opponent's field goal percentage, only 0.3 behind Franz, who was number 1 on the team. There was a couple other G League guys, but from the regular rotation, you can already see he is one of our best defenders. Obviously not good from 3. 22% from 3 isn't great. 27% from mid-range isn't great. 59% at the rim. That's what I'm going to look for, like Lewis is, to tick up. And I think that we asked a lot of Jalen Suggs last year, man. We had a nicked up squad. For him to come in as a rookie, playing point guard, people always say, I don't
started in his first game.
I know. I've never made the transition from being a college point guard to the NBA.
Right.
Almost. Some scouts looked at me. I had a couple nibbles, but it didn't happen. But I hear that is one of the hardest transitions in sports.
Probably.
Yeah. You think that maybe quarterback, these positions where you have to be making those really quick decisions and you have a lot of responsibility.
So.
This is true. Right. So I think it was just a little bit too much and he was kind of moving too fast and you could tell. And the talent around him was slightly bereft. Last year,
people running out of the lineup. It was insane.
It was crazy.
He was out for a while, but Franz was the only real constant all year.
That's true. And so I think this year now, with guys getting a little healthier, that's wood, knocking on wood.
I can confirm as wood under here.
There's not, as you said, going to be as much expected of him.
Right.
The team isn't going to expect him to become a 35%.
I don't think they're handing him the
shooter.
mic on opening night like they did last time to address the crowd.
That's a good query. Who's going to get the mic? We're going to have to talk about that.
I would think it might be Paulo. I think maybe the people would want to hear from him.
And
you get a number 1 pick in town and a lot of expectations. Give him the mic.
We're going to talk about him next. But, a guy like Paulo coming in, Franz coming off an amazing Eurobasket, coming in with tons of swag. Wendell now kind of feeling like a 20-10 guy coming back. We got Markelle to handle the rock.
When Daddy?
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah. Coming back. We got J.I. hopefully potentially coming. There's more talent now around him where he doesn't need to be the guy. He can do more of what he does well. Second most steals on the team per game behind Chuma. So we know what he can do. He can dig in there and be an extremely, extremely valuable player. I always think about Marcus Smart as a comp. He couldn't really shoot too much when he came into the league. He's a vital cog now in that Boston team.
Absolutely.
So
Sure. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good comparison.
Yeah.
To where we'd like to see maybe him get.
Yeah.
And his three-point shooting should improve, I would imagine, over the years if he starts being open for them because
Right.
nobody's paying attention
Right.
to him out there. So hopefully that can swing. And to me, honestly, there's a lot of things you just mentioned. That's why I love team sports as a whole, because it's not just one guy. You know, everybody that puts that uniform on, they have a piece of it. You know, even if it's the punter or the long snapper, like
Okay,
everybody
calm
can
down.
affect
Calm
the
down.
game. So it's great to know that, like, you don't have to be the center of attention on a team because there's a lot of other pieces around you. And I think for Orlando, for a number of years, we've kind of relied on one star or one fringe star or a couple of guys that, like, we're trying to make stars that really aren't. And now we're kind of swiping into we got some legit people now, and people are thinking we have one of the best young cores. So we don't need you to go out and do everything every night because there's other guys and everyone's going to work together and level up, as they kept saying at Media Day. And I'm just excited to see them do that together. That's what makes team sports great. Love them.
Well, one of those other guys that you're alluding to is number 1 pick Paolo Banchero.
Sure.
And Paolo is quoted as saying, I want definitely as a team to be in contention, whether that's a playoff spot or play-in. I also want to be rookie of the year. Man, do we love this. This is that winner's mindset, similar to Cole Anthony, want to be an all-star. This guy wants to be the best rookie in the league, without a doubt. And, I mean, if NBA preseason is any inkling of what's about to come, I think he's got a good shot, Peach.
Yeah, absolutely. And you love to hear him say this. I feel like everybody said the right stuff at Media Day.
Yeah.
Like they all kind of checked all the boxes for what you'd like to hear them say. And it's definitely nice to hear him say, I want to be in contention. They're not looking for another rebuilding year here. We don't want to be in a Wembanyama sweepstakes situation. We are looking to get into the play-in and get back into the playoffs and make some noise and maybe play spoiler at some point. Like,
Let's do it.
This team's only going to get better as the season goes on.
Right.
So if they can stay in that conversation and just get in the play-in, you never know.
And again, T. Ross. I mean, we're quoting T. Ross left and right here. He, on his podcast, talking about Paolo Banchero, said he can do everything. He shows glimpses of absolutely everything: playmaking, scoring, defense. He can play point. He's just a jack of all trades. And as I alluded to a moment ago, talking about his preseason numbers, a whopping sample size of 2 games, Bish.
Yeah.
Huge sample size, all right? You really could see, though, that he could do everything. 20 points per game. If you put him on today's team, that would lead our team. 6 assists a game. That mark would also be leading our team. Cole's the next behind him at 5.7. And the biggest one for me, what I'm most excited about, and we talked about this during preseason, free throw attempts. 10 free throw attempts per game he averaged.
Yep.
The next, you're not looking at the slide right now, so I'll let you guess. Who was the next closest player on our squad last year in terms of how many free throw attempts, and who was it?
Free throw attempts. Well, it probably should have been Wendell, but he just doesn't get any calls.
That's true.
So I think it was probably Franz.
No. 10 free throw attempts per game. Next closest is Cole Anthony at 3.9.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about Cole, but I didn't realize he ended up having that much scoring.
Next closest is 6 behind him. I mean, Paolo Banchero has what superstars in the NBA have. It's that ability to get to the line, to get charity points. And we really haven't had a guy like that in...
It's been a minute.
Tracy McGrady? I can't really...
I guess.
No one on the last iteration of our team had it.
He was already getting star-level calls in the summer league. So
I mean,
you'll have to see that.
Dwight Howard got to the line a lot, but that man got hacked. Maybe a
inside
little
players
Hito
tend to get
Turkoglu,
them
but
all.
like we really haven't seen this type of ability to get free buckets, and that's what I'm most excited about for Paolo Banchero. That will mean that he's going to have some usage. He's going to have the rock in his hands.
There's something that doesn't show up on your stat sheet that I'm more excited about. And I thought that's where you're going before you mentioned the free throw thing. But
is it his amazing frame that Doris Burke loves?
Not about the frame.
Okay.
Although I do like it. I put a nice picture in there, and it did. They got that New Jersey. It's nice. Anyway, my thing is it's sort of the intangible of watching him lead. As a young guy, with a lot of other young guys out there, he was leading that team. Like you could see him like directing people and you go there and do this. And like, I understand he's a rook, but he's going to have a lot more maturity than your average rookie. And this is a young team that does need a leader to emerge. And I already see it in there. I already see that leadership role of you go there, do this, come over here, not as a point guard, but like as a legit, like, let's do these plays. Let's run this. Let's go over here. You can see it. It's an intangible thing that like, you just have to feel as a vibe that I think is probably a large part of the reason they drafted him, because we need this guy. We need that.
We're vibing.
Yeah.
I'm the vibe guy.
Well, you went with free throws. So, I mean, you had a good point for sure.
Yeah.
And that's part of it as well. He's the kind of leader that will know enough that like, okay, those guys aren't hitting right now, or they're keying on him, or they're playing one down the post. Now it's Paulo time.
Yes.
And I'm going to go get a bucket, or I'm going to go get fouled. I'm going
Yes.
to do something positive for the team because everybody else is covered or things are going on. That's what we've been missing for a while, is someone who can create their own shot, do their own thing when the other options aren't open. And I don't think he's going to be selfish about it. I think he has a good enough head to know when it's time to turn it on and when not.
No, I mean, I heard
He
Kobe
didn't have
Price.
to turn it on much at Duke. So
No, Kobe Price talking on a podcast. I think it was called Hard Knocks NBA podcast. A really great listen. Go check that out. He was talking about how impressed he was with a similar point you were talking about, that even on an NBA preseason summer league game where really a guy like Paulo has the green light. You know, there's one or two guys on every team
for sure.
where it's like, dude, take as many freaking shots as you want.
especially in summer league.
Especially in summer league. He could have done that.
Yep.
He didn't, like you said.
Right.
He was looking to get other guys open looks, looking to improve and elevate the play of those around him. And I just can't
Yelling
wait
at
to
RJ
see it.
where to go.
Yeah, exactly, man. Directing traffic. Let's go.
Right.
And I think that's why we're so damn excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
And Diego, your mom's hot boyfriend, love the handle. That's the handle. That's his handle name.
Okay.
Yeah. He put out a poll. No, he screenshot a poll from YouTube, and he said, man, NBA YouTube is something else, because this poll says the best young core out of these 5 teams, age 24 and under. This is from 6 Rings of Steel. I think it's a Sixers show of some sort. There's the Thunder, the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Magic, and the Pistons. I mean, I can't. We came in at 9%, which whatever. I know
tied for last.
It's tied for last. With the Rockets, I think we're definitely have a better future than the Rockets right now. I understand that we didn't win this.
Yeah.
That's okay because people don't pay attention. But the Thunder winning this poll over the Pelicans with Zion, Herb, Trey Murphy.
I mean,
Just Zion alone, honestly.
I found this bad boy, and the minute I saw that the Thunder won it, I was mad.
Yeah, of course you were. Yeah.
And then as I continued to read it, I got increasingly mad because not only were we not second, but we were tied for last.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think the answer here is probably the Pelicans, honestly. Especially right now, they're a playoff team.
With Zion, right?
Yeah.
And
with
Herb Jones.
With Zion back, like,
Yeah.
it's got to be the Pels right now. That's where I'd vote here.
They have
But then
the number
then,
one
of course,
player.
my second vote here would go to the Orlando Magic.
Right.
Although I do like the Pistons with Ivy and Cade.
Yep.
And I
And
do
Sadiq
like
Bey.
Sadiq, but I'm going to give the nod to us. I'll give the home nod to us.
Oh, for
But,
sure.
like, those are the 3 teams that should be competing for this victory, not the Thunder. Like,
No.
that is a bit much. And what year is Shea on now?
I mean,
is this
he's
fourth
gotten
year,
another
fifth year?
contract.
Like, is he?
He's on his second
I don't
contract.
know if I consider him.
He's in the second year, I think, of a 4 or 5 year deal. That's why people
Okay,
are
it's
like,
only so it's
there's
the
a
third
lot of
year?
rumblings
Right.
about Shea and him
Right.
getting fed up because this is now his second contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's under contract. He's probably like, what the hell are we doing? We're tanking again. Jeez Louise.
SGA to the Lakers by the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my favorite team.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see, man. I think if Paulo becomes the guy that we think he can be, people are going to look at this and we're going to have to pull some receipts.
Yeah, they're going to feel
We're gonna
bad.
have to pull some receipts.
If we could pull those receipts, we should, because people are going to, but that's okay, because
Yeah.
that's the position you want to be in. We see all the stuff about everyone talking about how, well, they may have the best young core and everybody's talking about us. If this is what they think, cool. Because
Good.
about 40
Good.
games in, you're going to be like, shit, I
Sleeping
slept
giant.
on the Magic.
Sleeping giant.
And that's fine. You sleep, well, they creep by to some victories. Hit the song.
That's what it's going to be.
Yep.
All over those fools.
Nutmeg and cinnamon all over them.
All right. Well, you know who's been keeping some receipts is our boy Jeff Weltgod. And this might be the greatest receipt of all here. This is a wonderful thing for him.
Don't hit the button.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Actual
You're right.
applause.
You're right.
It's a great moment. It's a great
moment.
This is a great moment in social media.
I think all people who step into the arena that is Orlando Magic Twitter, Instagram communities.
Yes.
This is kind of the dream.
I mean, I think for some, they wouldn't even dare dream this high. But yes, correct. Well said.
So Orlando Magic say, media day on deck. What questions should we ask the guys?
Yes.
And Weltgod says, ask Weltman if he knows about Weltgod. And Cole Anthony, I mean, he wasn't added in this. He just jumped into this thread. He said,
He wasn't busy, apparently.
Yeah, I can confirm he's aware of your existence and have asked him about you before. And now, you know, Weltgod says, like, it's all worth it. No matter what happens to him, he's good.
I mean, I was excited for him.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Even if someone would have just replied, yes, I've heard that Weltman knows about Weltgod, it would have been
Right.
something. But the fact that it's Cole Anthony
right?
now means Cole Anthony knows about him as well.
Right. Cole Anthony's been following. He's asked Weltman about it. I mean,
Not super surprised. Cole's
No.
huge on social media.
He's the
so
man.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
he's the
he's going
man.
to see this stuff.
I think, you know, my equivalent of this would be like Franz and Moritz
Yeah.
seeing the German court cousins.
Oh,
And just getting a laugh out of it, and you know, making a comment on the YouTube or
Right.
adding us on Twitter or replying to something.
Sure.
That would be my mecca, I
Sure.
think. Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's hard to even imagine something like that happening, but I guess at some point that kind of stuff happens. You're scrolling around, checking out what people are saying about your team. Weltgod says a ton of stuff about our team that is super funny.
Yeah.
And super on point. So, yeah, these guys probably all know about him and see it. And why wouldn't they share it with Jeff? I mean, I share funny memes with all my friends and stuff. So,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you be like, hey, boss, have you seen these?
Right, little
These are
workplace
awesome."
tidings, you know?
And then he goes, this is funny. This guy's probably, maybe Weltgod actually works for Weltman and is helping keep up this screen of like funniness and keeping things light on the outside. So we don't know what's going on inside the actual large dome.
Wow.
I'm now wondering.
Are you on the
they're
inside,
together.
Weltgod?
Yeah. Another conspiracy theory. Maybe your buddy can
Perfect.
check out.
Yeah.
Look at your skinny glasses. Let's go.
Okay, we're gonna round out this social media roundup, and this is the last post, Peach, right? I'm not tripping because I
No,
always
you're
do
right.
this. I'm
You're
right this
today.
time.
Look out.
Fantastic. We're going to round out this social media roundup with Where the Magic Happens podcast. He's posted the complete 20-man roster for training camp.
Right.
And what we're going to discuss now here, Peach,
Yeah.
is crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Who's going to be on the 15?
I don't want to discuss it too much because
Yeah.
on the next show, we are going to draft
The entire
10
squad.
men each.
Okay.
And then it's going to go in towards the belt at the end of the year.
Okay.
On
So
how
you
these
don't want
guys
to give
do
away
overall
too much of
points.
your thinking.
So I don't want to give up too much of my thinking, but I think
Okay.
we're already on the same page.
Yeah.
There's a ton of guys on here that you totally know are on the bubble. And there's some of these guys that could start up with us until J.I. comes back or till Gary Harris comes back. That obviously clears a couple spots for some people. I think it's pretty clear, you know, the top 10 probably, and maybe even the top 13 or 14 are clear. So there's really only like one or two spots I feel that are up for grabs. But if we were at full capacity with J.I. and Harris back, and even assuming Fultz was back, there's not a lot of wiggle room left on our roster.
Yeah. So what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to name 4 guys that we kind of are expecting to not necessarily be on the 15-man. And that's going to be Aleem Ford. He's on a training camp deal, as is Xavier Simpson. Aleem Ford, that's my guy. Got a signed Lakeland Magic jersey.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll be down with the Lakeland Magic and we can catch them this year.
I would like to see Xavier Simpson with them as well.
And, okay, yeah. And then we have Admiral and Kayvon Harris on the 2-ways.
Right.
So those are 4 guys right there.
Yep.
And then it gets a little dicey. So who's going to be, now we're down to 16. We've got to, send one person down. One person has to move.
Right.
Who is that going to be? Is it going to be, I'm thinking between some combo of Caleb Houston, I don't want to say it, but Devin Kennedy.
I didn't think he was going to say it.
I mean, Bol Bol is there. And I guess the last one on the bubble for me is RJ Hampton.
Okay.
But of those 4 guys, who's the most likely to go down? Sadly, Devin Kennedy, but I hope it's Caleb. Because he's the rook.
So
go down, get some minutes, be a guy down in the G League.
Right.
Let's see if you have some playmaking ability. We kind of know, and Devin knows, to his credit. I love hearing Devin Kennedy speak, man. He's got the greatest mindset. He's a leader. I want him in the locker room.
Right.
I believe in Caleb Houston too. He seems like he has a great mindset for a young man. Devin Kennedy's just further along. And I love that Devin Kennedy knows exactly what his role is. He's like, I'm going to shoot a high percentage from 3.
Right.
I'm going to play team defense.
Right.
I'm going to talk. I'm going to be a leader.
He's not looking to come out and be an all-star.
No.
He's been further along,
Right.
realizes where he's going to be.
Yeah.
I if I had to answer that question you posed with those 4 other guys already out, Caleb Houston, I think, is the one that I would say, because I want him to get some minutes. I want him to play. Like, I want him to grow. I know it's nice to be around the team and you can learn a lot by practicing with guys and stuff like that, but I want him to get minutes.
Yeah.
So, like you said, go down to Lakeland, be a dog down there, be a guy.
Right.
And it's probably not going to be long before you come on up. But I'd like to see him play. So, and I don't know how many minutes he's going to get with us unless there's, another miracle performance going on in there that we don't know about, that T. Ross is going to tell us about next week, how great Caleb Houston is and how he could crack the starting lineup, because there's a lot of confusion over the way things go. But I would have to say that's the way to go. And it's, at the end of the day, basketball is a business. They have rules. Only a certain amount of guys allowed on your roster. We like them all. We root for them all. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to sit.
I think Caleb will be there maybe long term.
Yeah.
But just for this year, as you say, get some minutes. I mean, the guy, he's a 6'8", and I was just watching some clips of him shooting. I don't know where it was coming from.
Right.
His shot release is high and fast, man. He gets that thing off quick, and it looks really silky smooth.
Right.
I can see that Weltman sees this guy as a part of the squad moving forward to grow with the rest of our young core.
Yeah, I mean, if OKK and Suggs can't be that defensive stopper that can also hit open threes, Caleb can do that probably.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys need to play well to keep that spot and to keep him in Lakeland under this scenario. But if they don't, that's a great backup to have.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. What do you think in the comments? I mean, who do you think is going to be the 15-man roster? Who are going to be the 5 guys that are kind of, unfortunately, going to be on the outside looking in? And maybe what do you project moving forward? How is this roster going to shake up and shape up?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like feel one way about one certain player.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that guy or I don't like this guy. I get that, but keep in mind, they're all men. They're all pretty good guys.
Yeah.
They have families. Playing in the NBA is their dream. I like to throw shade as much as the next guy, but let's not throw shade on our own team here.
For sure.
Yeah, as much as possible.
Yeah. Although then JJ Redick will call us a bunch of softies and say no one likes to play for us because we're too positive.
See, I don't know if JJ, when that rant happened, I've thought about this a lot since, is I don't know if you and I would be included in the people that he was insulting, because I think he's trying to say that the fans in Orlando don't have that like tough mentality that other cities have, and
we're just Northeast assholes. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay. New York City. I'm walking here.
We both spent a number of years in Boston, where we had to get hard because of all the.
That's a rare breed of asshole.
Us.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean,
masshole, I should say.
Yeah, well, no, the other one works too. You can kill the M.
Also, put in the comments who has the biggest assholes. Which state? Go.
I feel like all the Florida people are going to attack Georgia, so that's fine.
Yeah, I'm living this life with a different attitude. Don't flip, don't trip, keeping up the good mood. Cooking up some good food with my friends in the street. Yeah, people wanna chill, they can come and speak to me.
Getting a lot of compliments on the shirt. People are digging NBA Jam, even though I think if we had to choose from the current team, we'd probably go follow Franz. I don't know, maybe.
Pop the trunk, hit the brakes, stop the gas. When I'm sitting with my friends, it's all smiles and laughs. And I'm thinking that I'm drunk, hit the bathroom mirror just to get a clearer vision. I'm a man on a mission.
I think it's called the Mag Case.
Wow. That's sick.
Jake Roy, 90s Mobile Cards. I'm on Instagram, YouTube,
little bit of Facebook and Twitter, occasionally some TikTok, very occasional.
Be careful.
All right, how do you feel about the squad this year? We found a Magic fan here at the card show.
I'm feeling good. They've got a nice young nucleus. I would like to see them move some guys. Jonathan Isaac, not my favorite. I feel like he's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I want somebody that really has a specialized set of skills, unless you're, a little bit better like Apollo. Okay. And I'm a Duke fan also.
So I feel like J.I. is a defensive specialist, no? You don't think that way?
I don't think he's a defensive specialist.
Okay.
The other thing, too, is he doesn't stay healthy for long enough to really see what he can do, in my opinion.
I can't disagree with you there. I can't remember ever watching him play personally.
Right. So it's but on the other hand, you got a guy like Fultz who also can't stay healthy, but I feel like he's got more to give. So, but yeah, the last 2 years, they picked the guys I wanted in the first round, Suggs and now Paulo. So I was just happy they didn't get Chet.
Yes, I was going to say, I was going to make you backtrack to the Chet conversation that started our conversation, because we went to the draft and I had the big sign saying anyone but Chet. This guy, he was on board. He was on team anti-Chet.
Yeah, and so far we're seeing it prove out that that would have been the wrong pick. So
I mean, I feel like he still could be a nice player, but he's not going to be the #1 overall pick good. Yeah. So we chose wisely.
Yeah,
definitely Paulo.
I mean, I know we were talking a little before.
Were you Paulo or were you?
I was all over Paulo.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the guy that I wanted. And I mean, my 90s comp player for him, I was looking at him as a better version of Dwight Howard. Okay. But I think that's kind of that's the average of what he could be. Mm-hmm. I think he could definitely be much better than that.
Right.
But it's Dwight Howard was
be a better coach.
I think that's a low bar we're setting there. But yeah, I mean, I think he's got a lot of talent that it's going to be exciting to see that whole group come together.
Agreed.
Yeah. And, it might not be a playoff year yet, but at least we're getting in the right direction.
Agreed. Springfield, Massachusetts. We found another Orlando Magic fan. New England, represent.
It's just how she is, yeah, it's just how she be. Got a bowl full of drinks and a bowl full of weed. Topped up on vibes, yeah, it's lovely to see, yeah. She's the best dancer at the party, looking for an after party. Even though we just started trying to shoot like James Harden. Everybody dancing in the garden, make it feel like time style. Got the perfect bag job, yeah. She's the best dancer at the party, looking for an after party. Even though we just started trying to shoot like James Harden. Everybody dancing in the garden, make it feel like time style. Got the perfect bag job, yeah.
All right, I gotta say, I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, that was weak.
I've been here several times in the past and always enjoyed it. I know I was younger, but I came once in my 30s and I still thought it was awesome. They had a locker for everybody that was in the Hall of Fame. They had a spot for each team. Everything is missing in there. There's nothing in there anymore. There's some interactive screens. And
it's very odd.
This
is my first time at the new one.
Good.
I thought it was going to be bigger. I think it's smaller.
It's the same size it was last time I came, but it feels like they moved a wing or took something out, because it just felt like all of a sudden we're on the court where everybody plays basketball all at once, and it's that's it, we're done here. And even the shop is not the same.
Poor.
Because I have gotten Magic gear here before when I couldn't get it anywhere else in New England back in the day. It used to be like a full-size NBA store in there, and now they barely have anything. They have one pennant of every team. I am so disappointed in this. This was not as good as it should be. And I can't believe I'm going to not recommend that you come to Springfield, Massachusetts.
Don't come.
Just for the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I don't think there was an event. Even one piece of Magic memorabilia. I mean, there was some Shaq shoes.
Yep.
But
not when
they didn't look like Magic time. They weren't
Lakers
blue. There was some Lakers Shaq stuff. I didn't see anything about Penny. The Scott Skiles ball that you saw before was not there.
The 30th assist game, that was missing.
It's like our franchise doesn't exist here.
It's weird. They used to have a locker for each player, which was cool. It was a nice setup. And I loved that they had a spot for each team with each team's little history in there.
Right.
Good stuff. There was a Larry Johnson jersey for the Hornets, even teams that haven't done anything. There was gear in there and stuff. And now I don't know, man. It was just really weird, and it felt like it was overfat, and it was expensive. Way more expensive than it deserves to be. It should be maybe $5-10 a pop to get into that.
Yeah.
Because there's not much to do.
No, it was $28. Too much.
I'm really shocked that I am not recommending the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's part of the reason we didn't do more while we're here. It's a weird vibe in there, man. I asked them why they closed early. They said, well, we weren't really getting the numbers. It's like, well, you don't get the numbers if you're not open, right? People can't come. Probably do better if you were open a little later. But probably people are
Now
coming
we
and
see
seeing
why.
this, and we're seeing why.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, I don't need to go to that ever again. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
So unless I hear they're doing some major makeover, I'm never coming back.
They should just change this to like the Lakers Hall of Fame, because it was just
A lot of Lakers.
there was a lot of
They've
Lakers
done a lot of Hall of Fame
and
things.
Sixers, and like that's it. Like,
A lot of Celtics representation, but I
No,
understand
good.
they were mass. But
yeah,
it was definitely disappointing, and
get it together, Naismith.
so, but he deserves better.
Yeah.
He had better, and then they took it away. Why? Why'd you get worse, Hall of Fame?
Come on. That's not right.
Peach has a soft side, ladies.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going into Court Cousins Down Under with our good friend, welcoming him into the studio, Jay from Magic Player History. Jay, welcome to the show, sir. And as always, anyone on the show, Peach, they have to check in for the Chuma Are You OK check-in. So how are you doing?
Is he going to do it with didgeridoo behind him?
Maybe a little bit.
All right. I'm excited for that.
All right, go for it, Jay.
It's good to have you back, Jay.
Yeah, guys, how are you? I'm good to be back on the show. My tumor, of course, my OKK, he's looking a little bit worried today. He's looking a little bit concerned. He's looking over the shoulder, and this is just a little bit of a thought to our mates down in Orlando at the moment, sort of being battered with Hurricane Ian, and just sort of thoughts with those guys and of course the players and everyone's families, and hoping that everybody gets through it unscathed and without any damage or loss of life or worse. So yeah, no, just a bit of a thought there, and Chuma's looking a little bit worried, but hopefully everybody pulls through this all good.
Yeah, we're sending
Absolutely.
good vibes down to you in Florida, and hopefully we can give you a little laugh here, on the show. A little things, something maybe to take your mind off of it for a moment. And that's exactly why Jay is here, Peach. Because last time Jay was on the show, we invented a tremendous game called Court Cousins Down Under. But Jay, always trying to best himself, is now mashing up Court Cousins Down Under with one of his favorite segments, because he's a cardboard connoisseur.
Right.
Magic the Card Gathering.
This is the mashup you didn't know you needed, but you're getting it.
So Jay, explain to us and to the people exactly how this game is going to work.
Well, guys, I know you guys are still hanging out for the season, so you can get back into the over/under gambling and stuff. So this might be the last time we get this one in before you guys rekindle the Court Cousins Championship, perhaps. So I'm basically just going to rifle through a few of my favorite Orlando Magic cards, and with each one will come a little bit of a trivia question. It'll have sort of an over/under component, and Kyle will be starting with you because you are the champion of this game. From last time.
The champ is here, Peach.
Almost blew a 3-0 lead, but just held
Okay,
on.
we didn't need to say that, Jay. Jeez Louise. I thought you were polite down there in Australia. Jesus Christmas.
I didn't want Peach to get sad, so I was trying to even it up. So you'll get the first question, Kyle. You'll set a line, and then Peach will have to choose to go over or under that line. And we'll play best of 7 again, and hopefully Peach won't dig himself into a 3-0 hole.
All right.
I just hope it's a good game and everyone has fun.
Oh, sure. He's already trying to hedge it. People. Okay, Jay, what's the first one? Throw it at us, man.
Well, I've sort of gone in a lot of chronological order here. So I started with the older cards, and then I've got some more recent ones coming up. So went with the old school here. First one up here, if you guys can see.
Nice
We've
Shaq.
got the big man himself, Shaquille O'Neal rookie card there. One of my favorites from the collection.
You had to send away for those.
Yeah. So the question here, question 1 for Kyle.
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal, of course, we know he's a tremendous scorer, rebounder, shot blocker.
Business owner.
Business owner. He still holds the franchise record for the most blocks in a game.
Ooh.
For the Magic.
Okay.
So you're going to set the line here for how many you think the Big Shaq Diesel blocked in a game.
Okay.
And then Peach is going to choose to go take the over or go call Cousins down under.
All right. Okay. Well, I know I think Peach's favorite player, Chet Holmgren, this summer set a summer league record. I think it was 8 blocks he had in a game, something like that. And he said he was going to break it the next day. I think the only thing he's broken so far is his foot. I'm going to go. That was cold. I'm sorry, Chet. I think so. The big man, Shaq Diesel, must have gotten over that. So,
well, that's summer league.
I know summer league is soft. I'm going to go with 9. I'm going to go with 9 blocks in a game. That seems really high, but I'm going to rock with it.
It does seem high, but a lot of legendary big men have had at least 1 or 2 games where they get in the double digits.
Okay.
But I'm not so sure Shaq did. But a young Shaq, man, he could really swat some shots in the 7th row, which was impressive. I always liked blocking a shot back in the day. That was always one of my favorite things to do as a player because I can't dunk. I can certainly block shots. I'm gonna say if you're setting the line at 9, I'm gonna think that's a good line because I think that's probably right about where I would have set it as well.
All right.
Now I have to wonder: is the record 8, or did he actually get double-digit blocks?
Do you just want to say down under? Let
me see. I got the finger. What are we gonna do, finger? I think we're gonna go. This is a tough one. You set the line at the perfect spot. I was
Jeez
like,
Louise, we're going to have to edit this out.
Let's see. I'm going to go over. I think he got at least 10.
Okay.
I'm going to go over. Jay, what do we got?
Ish, my man, you are off with a 1-0 start here.
No!
Yeah, correct.
Oh, yeah.
So, November 1993 against the New Jersey Nets, Shaquille O'Neal put up this line, 24 points. Yeah, not too bad.
Solid.
28 rebounds.
Jeez.
That's gross.
And 15 block shots.
Oh,
15. Triple-double.
So many.
And franchise record, which still stands today.
Oh, shit. That's probably going to stand for a while.
15, yeah. I mean, you figure if Dwight Howard didn't do it.
Dwight did have a 10-block game.
Okay.
So he sort of got into double figures, but yeah, 15. That's going to be.
I was going to say if anyone was going to block it, if anyone was going to break it, it would have been Dwight. So if he didn't, 15 is a lot. My God, after a guy has probably like 6 or 7, I would think nobody would bother shooting next to him anymore.
Yeah. Well, the Minister of Defense is coming back this year, Peach. We'll see if Jonathan Isaac has anything to say about that. I see you, J.I.
That'd be awesome.
The game has changed a lot, as Peach knows. So it's going to be Isaac's going to have to block 15 shots on the 3-point line if he wants to.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So moving through Magic history, we come across somebody who, whenever he's mentioned as an Orlando Magic player, often people are surprised that he actually played for the Magic, and that is current Golden State Warriors coach,
Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. I remember this.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's actually one of my most watched videos on the Magic Player History YouTube channel because whenever somebody finds that, Steve Kerr played for the Magic, and they go and look it up and try to watch exactly what happened with his career. It was a really strange point in Kerr's career. The Magic signed him because he was such a good 3-point shooter to play with alongside Shaq, because Shaq was going to draw the D and Steve Kerr would be open for his 3-pointers. And he had led the league in 3-point shooting before he came to play for the Magic. And of course, one of the best 3-point shooters in NBA history. So he led the league in 3-point shooting twice. He was over 50% from downtown 4 times in his. But Peach here is going to set the line for what was his 3-point shooting percentage during his time in Orlando.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. During his time in Orlando, which was not super
This is
long.
a good question. No, he was here for a cup of coffee, right? What was it, a season and a half?
He was here for 1 season. He didn't play that many games.
Not a cup of coffee. More like a venti.
Okay.
Right? That's the 20 ounces.
That's what they say.
Coffee. I don't know. Gonna go with 463.
46%.
46.3
Well,
or
0.463 because
Okay,
that's the way
that's
that's usually written.
46%. Yeah, okay. And I'm definitely going down under. Easy.
It's going under.
He's going under, and he's locked it up, one each.
That was a horrible
That's
line,
correct,
Peish.
Carl.
What's horrible about
That
it?
was a horrible line. The man just said his career, he had a career, 50%? That was his highest in his career?
Yeah.
And so you said 46%?
With us for 1 year.
That's ungodly. That's a horrible line, Peish. Thank
not
you for
that
the
horrible.
victory. Thank you for the
Not that
victory.
horrible.
It's bad. It's bad.
So
I also kind of tuned out a little bit. When he
Yeah,
started
that was
talking
your
stats.
problem. That was your problem. You tuned
'Cause
out.
I thought he was
Now-
just regaling us with fun, and then it was like, oh, there's a question? Shit.
the reason that that Steve Kerr didn't work out with the Magic was because he shot a woeful 25% from downtown.
Wow.
So
whatever line I would have set would have been high.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So you're telling me there's a shot for Jalen Suggs next year?
Yeah,
That's what you're
look,
saying, Jay.
He is regarded as one of the best shooters of all time.
Right.
And for whatever happened in Orlando, look, he got inconsistent minutes. He got a couple of chances to play, but he's playing behind Scott Skiles, and so he only took 24 shots from 3-pointers, and he only hit 6 of them. So 6 from 24 for the season.
Oh wow!
And at the end of the season, he decided I've kind of had enough with Orlando, and he went off and signed with the Chicago Bulls, and that was the start of his
that worked out all right.
run,
That worked out okay.
which is still kind of ongoing. He's racking up almost as many rings for the fingers here. So
yeah, it might be more well known as a coach at this point, maybe, than a player, which is kind of absurd to think about. But
yeah,
I don't want to think about any more players that left Orlando and then won a championship. Let's go on to the next question.
All right. So I don't believe this player won a championship after he left Orlando.
All right, thank God.
So we're tied up at 1-1, and we're going back to you, Kyle. So we're gonna bring in the man here. I've got a nice crisp autograph here of Pat Garrity.
Yes. Wow, that is a nice autograph there.
Yeah, it's
Well
one of
done,
my
Patty G.
older. It's one of my older autograph cards. I had some older ones, but this is the first one I've got with it's authenticated on the back.
the Skybox authenticated ones. Oh boy, yeah, those are old.
So of course, Pat Garrity, he was recently voted as one of the top 10 power forwards in Magic player history.
Sadly.
It would be great if we had 10 better than Pat Garrity. But
True, but he did play a long time.
Yeah, he
so
played
to
a
his
while
credit,
for
he at
us,
least
yeah.
put in a lot of games.
played for the franchise for a long time, and he was one of the Orlando has been famous for stretch fours before stretch fours were even a thing.
True.
Rashard Lewis, of course, the most famous. Pat Garrity was there before Rashard Lewis, and even our favorite power forward in Magic history, Horace Grant, was a stretch four for that game. He could hit the 18-footer, which that was a good pairing beside Shaq.
I thought Ryan Anderson was going to become that guy for a while.
He did for a little.
He did for other teams.
He had
better
some
than us,
injury.
but
He had some
was
injury
okay
issues
with
with that back.
Yeah.
So Pat Garrity, what we're doing here is Kyle, for question 3.
All right.
You're going to be setting the line for what you think is Pat Garrity's career high in points.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, unfortunate
It
for
was for the
you,
Magic.
Peish. Unfortunate for you. Wait, you said it wasn't with the Magic?
It was with the Magic.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
His career high.
Well, I
was
knew
with-
that. I knew that because I was just going to say I'm pretty much an encyclopedia when it comes to Pat Garrity. So you can trust that this line is going to be just sealed up tight. All right.
Okay.
So I know I can remember this game. I can see it like yesterday. I was
You used to watch
9 years old, and Patty G, as I like to call him, he was having a great game against against Houston. It was against the Rockets, Fish, and he scored 25 points, and it was an amazing feat. It was great. I mean, he had everything working. He was shooting outside. He was knocking down a couple threes, getting to the line. It was a great game. He scored 25.
So 25 is the line.
Yeah.
That would have been the line I would have set too, to be fair.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I've seen that on the back of a card.
Yeah.
But it would be dumb for me to select 25 and go with you, and also no one would get a win that
That's
way.
true. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and give Pat Garrity the benefit of the doubt and say that he had a game higher than 25, and I will take the over.
Okay.
Put the finger in the air there so we know. for the judges so they can see it. You have to make a hand motion.
Peach, I didn't want to interrupt there because Kyle was doing such a good sell job on his story. I didn't want to.
I completely made that up. I haven't.
Sure.
I didn't have the heart to tell him that the career high was actually against the Bucks and not the Rockets, because that would have given the game away.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
But Pat Garrity's career high is 32 points.
Oh, let's go.
Damn. Yeah, I should have had more faith in my boy.
I was glad you said it.
To be fair, Kyle, it's the only time he ever got 30 points or more in his career. So it wasn't like he was racking up these 32-point games regularly. So,
all right.
But 32 points. So Pish moves to the 2-1 lead here.
I would be curious to see. I would say most NBA players who have played for especially as long as he did, probably have at least one 30-point game. Almost no matter who you are. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
You're going to catch lightning in a bottle once.
Yeah, like every once in a while, you're just hot. Like, Greg Kite probably went for 30 once. Like,
definitely not.
No, okay. It's because his shorts were too tight.
So no one has won when they've set the line right now. So do you think you can break that now, Peace? You're up.
I don't know. I mean, I think getting to vote is easier than setting the line.
Certainly.
Yeah. So Peach, we're going back to you with question 4 here, and what I've got here is I've got our main man.
Oh, Pat Ewing.
Yeah, that's some nice fabric right there.
Got some game-worn
is that Kemp
Magic jersey and Sonics jersey from Patrick Ewing.
Man, that's fun.
Of course, his number 6 that he wore with the Magic is now being retired league-wide.
Yep.
Even though Orlando had already retired it and unretired it just for Ewing and then re-retired it again for the fans.
Yep.
But that's not the question. The question is not how many times Patrick Ewing has retired and unretired number 6. But interestingly, wearing number 6 for the Magic, Patrick Ewing, of course, one of the greatest players, Hall of Famer, and scorers, in NBA history. He averaged exactly 6 points per game in his Magic career. So he kind of, obviously, it was the tail end of his career, and he wasn't quite the scorer he was with the Knicks. But he was still a decent rebounder. So Peach, you love your big man, you love your rebounds. I'm going to throw the question to you is throw out a line for me for what you think is the most rebounds that Patrick Ewing ever got in a game with the Magic. So he only
most
played
rebounds in any one game.
Oh,
Magic. Yeah. Ooh.
That's you do love big men.
I do. And any big man worth the salt, if you're playing a full game, you got to get at least 10.
You always say that.
So look, you know this number's coming above 10.
I know that.
It's Pat Ewing. He also led the league in sweat dripped off his head back in the day. He just unbelievable.
Paulo's going to break that this year, though, according to sources.
That's right.
Yeah,
but that's a gland issue.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to make light.
I don't know how many minutes Ewing was seeing per game back then, but I'm gonna go with 13.
Okay. You're saying this is his high, Jay, that I'm trying to figure out? His high with the Magic?
Most rebounds he had in a game with the Magic.
Okay. This is tough. If he averaged 6 points, as you said, Peach, he wasn't getting a lot of minutes. But I'm just going to say he got one where they let him rock. He was having a good game, probably averaged above his points, and he averaged above, you said what? 14?
I said 13.
Oh, 13. Thank God. I think he got 14, so I'm going to go over.
All right.
Over. Please, God.
All right. Well, I can tell you, Kyle, you've tied it up 2-2.
Yes.
He did get over. He had a 15 rebound game.
Good line, Peach. Good line.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Pretty close. He did actually have one game where he rolled out for 22 points and turned the clock back as well for the Magic. So
nice.
Nice. Wow.
Very few and far between, during his time with Orlando. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
So
you know what? My initial thought was 15, but then I was like, I don't know if you ever played enough minutes.
Right. That's
why I dialed it back. I should have stuck with my original. That's why I always go with your gut, kids. And adults. That's a good tip for anybody.
All right, guys. We know how pivotal Game 5 is in a 7-game series when it's tied up 2-2.
Okay.
So we're bringing out the big guns for you here, Kyle. We've got.
I'm ready.
Tracy McGrady.
Ooh, yes. Nice jersey there. Wait, is that court? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a piece of the floor in the card here.
Ooh, beautiful.
Wow, that's a good one. I've not seen any of that.
one of my favorite T-Mac cards with a little bit of the old arena or the M-Way. I think it's probably the old arena in there.
Yeah, that's the closest you've been to the court ever, right there.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's the closest I've been to.
We stood on.
I know you.
Oh, that's true.
I know you're not supposed to, touch the cards and get your finger oil and stuff like that. But I think when I got that card 20 years ago, when I first got that card, I think I definitely sort of touched that piece of floor, and I was like, yeah.
You got it.
That's awesome, dude.
If I got a jersey card and I'm keeping it for my personal collection, I pull off the plastic and I'm like, I always give it a little rub. There's no reason really.
Yeah.
It's just, fuck it, this is my card, and I want to touch this jersey. I'm gonna do it.
I resisted the urge to pull the basketball out and bounce it on the card. So I didn't go that far. Right, so we're back to Kyle here, setting
T-Mac.
the line for number 5. So currently on the Magic Play History feed, I'm counting down the greatest 30 scoring performances of all time. And T-Mac, of course, has been quite prevalent during the list. I'm doing the top 30 of all time, but there was actually like a 4-way tie for the 30th best scoring game of all time. So for this question, I'm going to encompass the top 35 scoring games in Magic history. Okay, so what I want you to do is set the line for, out of the 35 top scoring games in Magic history, how many of those 35 were Tracy McGrady games?
Oof, that is a great question, Jay. That is fantastic.
That is good.
Man, probably the most prolific, well, not probably, I would say the most prolific scorer, Jay, we've ever had by points average. Is that right, T-Mac?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm certain probably most games above 30 points. We've had some other really prolific scorers. Shaq would get his, Penny would get his. We've had some guys definitely.
Nick Anderson had a 50-point
Yeah,
game.
I think Torch has gone for 50 in his career, but that was with the Raptors, I believe. So this is tough. I think he owns a lion's share, I'm going to say. You know what? I'm going to take the easy road out here, Peach.
Oh, he's splitting the bit.
I'm going to do something like that, and I'm going to go with he has 18 of those 35.
Look at him finding the medal.
I know.
Look at him.
I went a little above. Yeah, I could have played it a little bit more one side or the other, probably.
18 of the 35. That is interesting. I am going to take the over, and I'm not going to take a ton of time to think about it because I've looked at that list. Yeah. T-Mac's on it a lot.
Okay.
So
I feel good.
Just wouldn't feel good going under and then being wrong. So I'm going over.
That's fair.
T-Mac, over.
Peach, you got to go with your gut, mate. You are correct.
Yeah.
It was such a good line, though, Kyle, because I'll tell you the number is 19.
Oh, man.
So you're already out by 1.
Oh,
yeah.
I could have stolen the point. Dang it.
So 19 out of 35. All right. So that is obviously he's easily the best scorer in Magic player history. And so keep up to date with that countdown as we lead towards number 1, which of course, spoiler alert, was Tracy McGrady's 62-point game.
Oof, yeah.
So we're going to move on to a little bit more. We're getting a little bit more recent with the guys now. So T-Mac, of course, and then the next era after T-Mac was the Dwight Howard era. But instead of rolling out one of my Dwight Howard cards here, I went for the backup center.
Oh,
very nice autograph.
Marcin Gortat, the Polish wonder. One of the Patreons is going to love this, Jay.
Yeah,
fantastic.
The Polish hammer. So it's a nice looking autograph there from Marcin Gortat.
Great interviewer, guy who gets stuck in the lake fishing. But
that was hilarious. So Peach can win it right now, Jay. Peach is up 3-2. He could take it. He could take it. All right.
Fans are getting excited.
Wow.
He is up 3-2, and this question is for Peach, and it's another big man question, Peach. So, now probably Gortat's claim to fame was during the finals run in 2009. In the first round, in Game 5, Dwight Howard got suspended. So the Magic were up 3-2, just like Peach right now, and Dwight Howard got suspended, and Gortat started that Game 6, and he played 40 minutes in that game, and we closed out the 76ers, and we moved on to the next round. Now, a lot of people were quite worried that, we're going to lose that game 6 without Dwight Howard and come down to game 7. So Gortat came out big in that game and helped us close out the series. So what I'm looking for, Peach, is, and it's a little bit of a curveball here because I'm actually looking for the combined points and rebounds from Gortat in that game 6.
Okay.
So we're looking for points and rebounds.
Points and rebounds.
And Gortat in the game 6 closeout victory over Philadelphia in 2009.
All right.
I got a number in mind.
You have a number in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a number in mind, and I know I should listen to that first number.
Listen to your gut. You said it yourself.
So I'm going to listen to my gut.
Okay.
I'm going with 35.
Okay. All right. That's an aggressive number. I'm going to go under. The number I had in my mind was 28.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going down under. Let me get some didgeridoo.
All right, guys, I swear we're not rigging this, but you guys love your game 7s because Kyle has tied it up.
Yes. How close was I?
So 25. So I have learned that a lot of Magic fans do kind of have they have overinflated this Gortat game over the years, and it's become, in another 10 years, people might be setting the line at 45 because it's almost Magic law how good a game Gortat had. Look, he had a good game, but it was only 11 points. Did great on the boards with 15 boards. So sorry, 26. Right. I can't even do my maths. So 26. Right. So Kyle would have been.
I was pretty dang close
there.
Yeah, I was thinking 14, 14.
Still would have been over as well.
See, I was thinking 15 boards in my head, but I thought he had more points.
Yeah, that makes sense in 40 minutes. The big man gets some putbacks.
Yep.
All right. So game 7. Here we go.
That was a great. I got to tell you, they've all been good questions. That's a great question, Jay, because you played into something that you knew all Magic fans probably were going to fall for, and I fell for it.
Yeah. Game 7. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, let's get game 7, baby. Slam dunk sesame.
If I wanted to fool the Magic fans, we'd just talk about how many games Jameer Nelson started in the 2009 finals and set that line, and they would all get that one wrong because, of course, it was 0.
0.
But so game 7, we're going with one of the most beloved Magic players of all time, rookie, autograph rookie.
Love it.
Of Nikola Vucevic.
Love it.
Is he the most beloved because you ran a poll and that's how he got on there, or is this just the vibe?
Yeah, I think it's just the vibe based on out of probably the top 5 Magic players, depending on where you rank Vooch all time. He's the one who left the team on good terms, really. All of the others, either asked out or left on bad terms. So I think that's for me why he's the most beloved. But
for me, he was the face of our team during a down era, which is not his fault.
No, but
I shouldn't put that evil on him. So I'm sorry, Vooch. Go on, Jay. Sorry.
Look, it's factually correct though, Peach. Whichever way we cut it, he's one of the best 3 centers we've ever had with the franchise. Of course, we've got Dwight Howard, Shaq, and Vooch.
What about Pat Ewing?
We're talking about just the time in the Magic uniform.
All right, I know.
So, 2020 games. Dwight Howard, of course, has had a ridiculous number of 2020 games.
Yeah.
So this is game 7. So I'm going to take you guys on a little bit of a journey here.
Okay.
So
let's go.
I'll sit back.
Dwight Howard has racked up 41 2020 games in his Orlando Magic career. All right. Shaquille O'Neal racked up 15 2020 games in his career. Now, Vooch only had 7.
Okay. I thought you were going to make me guess that number, so I'm glad you didn't make me guess that number.
I thought about it. But interestingly, even though Dwight has the most 2020 games by far and Shaq has the second most, Vooch actually holds the team record for the most rebounds in a game. So he has actually had more rebounds in a game over Shaq and over Dwight.
Okay.
So what we're looking for here is, do you know how many? Can you set that line on the button and prevent Peach from the 4-3 victory.
28.
Wait, so are you supposed to figure out the difference between?
No, the number of rebounds. I thought in
rebounds
in that record-setting game. Is it 28?
Well,
that's the line.
That's the line. I'm saying 28 rebounds.
You said it and asked him as if.
Well, I thought I hit it right on the nose. Honestly, I don't know. 28. It just came manifested out of me, Peach. Yeah. Out of my loins. It just came up in me. That's verbiage. Son of a. All right. Anyways,
here's the thing.
It came from the gut, Peach.
It's tough. It's tough. Knowing some of the things I do know.
Okay.
It limits the amount of under you can go because you know that those other guys must have gotten 21, 22.
No, I kind of just
for sure
botched it without getting it. Yeah.
There's not a lot of numbers under.
Yeah.
So there's definitely more over, but man, more than 28 rebounds in a game? That's a lot of goddamn rebounds. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the number under would be more impressive. Well, it would be equally as impressive, but I feel like Dwight or Shaq must have had one of those in there at some point.
I kind of screwed myself with that logic. You're right.
Wow,
this is for all.
Ball is in my court, cousin.
Yeah, it is indeed. It is indeed. This is for all the marbles, Peach.
I'm looking at Jay for a tell, but this
guy,
no,
don't give him anything, Jay.
He's got nothing.
Jay likes you more, but he's not going to give this one away.
Well, I'm everyone's favorite. So, I'm gonna go over.
Yeah,
but I think you might be close on your guess.
I don't know.
I can tell you that Kyle was only one off.
Oh, damn it. It was 29.
Which way off were you? That's the question.
It was 29.
Is it 27 or is it 29?
It's got to be.
It was 29.
Oh.
It was 29. So Peach takes the victory 4-3. Congratulations, Peach.
Thank you.
Any celebratory words here?
Normally, you're supposed to come out and thank God, but I'm going to thank Jay because those are some great questions. I'd also like to thank my competitor.
Well, thank you.
We set some great lines.
Yeah, we did.
We were in the neighborhood on a lot of these today.
Yeah.
That's how you play the game, kids. We're ready. You can tell clearly we're in preseason. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
I actually think you guys did a much better job this time of setting the lines. You guys were really close on a lot of these questions. So, yeah, I think you guys are definitely shaping up for a really good season.
We're ready. We're ready.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. It's been a blast. Everyone, please go check out Magic Player History on YouTube. Jay does amazing videos of all the different players and how they've contributed to our beloved franchise, the Orlando Magic. Thanks a lot, Jay. We'll see you around, man.
Thanks, Jay.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jay, Magic Player History, for coming and stopping by, playing a special edition of Magic Down Under with us, Peach. Apologies, everyone. We had a couple malfunctions with the video, but I'm going to try to clean it up in post. Hopefully, it will still be enjoyable. The audio is still going to be nice and crispy. And we're now heading to the end of the show. And we're going to go into our large ending in just a minute. But before we do, a couple quick announcements for you. First off, make sure you go over and check out the brand spanking new CourtCousins.com. Peach put a lot of work into that, so make sure you check that puppy out.
Do it.
Connects you with us on all platforms, any platform you like to use, and also has a store attached there where you can get this sexy tie-dye shirt
Boom.
And a lot of other merch.
Yeah, some of the stuff you can customize the color and the sizes.
I didn't even know you could do that.
It's a good time there, and if you don't find something you like there and you're into sports in general, as you probably are if you've come this far, go check out our eBay because I'm selling stuff of all kinds of teams, not the Magic because we keep that stuff for the show.
Most of it, yeah, giveaways.
But there's other stuff there, so maybe you're looking for a gift for someone. Holidays around the corner, buy a card for under $5 and help out support the show. All that money goes to the show as well.
Word. And now we got a couple shout outs. First, I want to shout out our German second cousin, Tim Geist. Coming through huge. You can kind of see it over here, my back right corner, over my back right shoulder, in the back here, the Basket German magazine with our boy Franz Wagner on the cover. The next Wunderkid? We think so. At least Uwe and Gunter did when they came through the studio.
Right. I mean, it's hard for me to tell what angle they're taking because the article is completely in German.
Yeah.
But it looks like a great magazine.
Yeah. The pictures are fantastic.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. And
Thanks a lot for sending it.
One more shout out to all our all-stars and second cousins on Patreon: Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Wally Akbar, Magic Player History, Al, Bernie Piche, Matthew Bell, Dan Young, Gloria and Damien, Yadi Connor, and the Polish Wonder. If you can, ladies and gentlemen, go over there, become a Patreon member. It just costs you $5 a month. Buy us a beer every month if you want to think about it that way.
Buy us some nutmeg and cinnamon.
I wish I had that drop up. It really helps, though. I mean, we have some goals up there. We're helping to progress the show. We're putting it all back into the show to bring you better and more refined content. Just like you can hear this nice new audio, thanks to our Patreon members, we have this wonderful mixer in the studio.
Indeed. Thank you very much. It's awesome.
And a couple more things. We're doing a giveaway. We want to give you something, ladies and gentlemen. So we've put together another prize pack. It's got an Orlando Magic cup in there, an Orlando Magic koozie, 15 assorted cards, including a Cole Anthony rookie, of which Piche has many. So we're giving some of them to you, and a team set from last year, which of course includes a Franz and a Suggs rookie, and of course some Court Cousins stickers in there for you. So we hope you enjoy that. All you got to do to enter is comment on this episode on the YouTube comments your favorite franchise moment, since our trip to the NBA Hall of Fame was a little disappointing and they didn't think it was fit to highlight our franchise very much. We need to do it in this comment. So post your favorite Orlando Magic moment in the comments to be entered to win that prize pack.
Indeed. Yeah. Can I get in on this? Because I have several moments I'd like to put in there.
Well, what is your favorite moment? What would you say, Pete?
I would think the 30 assists in one game from Scott Skiles should be in there. And I know I saw it in there in the past, but it shouldn't not be recognized anymore because it's still the record.
Yeah, that needs to be in there. I think my favorite moment is probably the Hedo Turkoglu shot over the Cavs in like the 2008 playoff run.
Those are
I
cool
think.
moments, but I think Hall of Fame moments need to be like record setting.
Well, no, that's not what. But that's not what we said for the. You got to comment your favorite.
Oh, I know, but I'm just talking about
Hall of Fame.
I'm still stuck on it, and I think it's going to come up again as we get into the large ending.
All right, well, let's go right into it now.
Indeed.
Cue the music. Into the large ending. Piche, I'm starting it off.
All right.
Would you rather pay $28 to go to the Basketball Hall of Fame or go to a Fish concert?
Well, you know how disappointed I am with the Basketball Hall of Fame, and it is still fresh.
Yeah.
But I would rather go there all the time versus even go to a Fish concert for free.
Too many smelly hippies. Got it.
Awful. So I will ask to you, more disappointed in the Basketball Hall of Fame or House of Dragons so far?
I think just because my expectations were so high, Basketball Hall of Fame, not having pretty much anything of my favorite team, it's like we didn't even exist. It hurt. It hurt, Peach. Okay, en route to Springfield this weekend, I caught a little video of you singing some nice pop ballads.
Yep.
Didn't know you had those chords on you, Peach. What's your favorite guilty pleasure go-to in the car?
Well, you caught me. That's where I'm at. Pop ballads, a big ballad guy. I was a big Mariah Carey fan as a young boy. So
sweet,
yeah,
sweet baby.
It's nice to sing some of those songs in the car when you're by yourself, because if you don't quite hit a note,
like I just did,
you know, no one's around to call you out.
Okay.
But you have your fun, man. You just let it fly.
Yeah.
Chandelier by, I believe, Sia recently was a good one that I like to do in the car.
I don't even
actually pretty good at hitting those.
Okay.
But we've gone too far. We've said too much.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a graphic here to go along with this. You'll pop it up on the screen now.
Okay.
Ben Simmons says he can live with that moment in the playoffs where he passed on it, even though he says he should have just gone ahead and taken that.
Yeah.
But he says he can live with it. Is he lying?
I don't know. I saw that interview with JJ Redick. It seemed like he's been through some shit. He's been at the bottom, and it seems like he's climbing out. I think anyone who's been through so much stuff, I can see he hit a rock bottom maybe, and now he's crawling out. He seems healthier, at least mentally. So I'm hoping for him. I think the Nets are going to be good, and I hope he's a great player.
I agree. I think he's going to bounce back as well.
Yeah. All right. So, Piche, we just got back also from the Northeast Card Festival, and you saw a little vignette of that. What card are you regretting that you didn't pick up, that you saw, had in your hand for a moment you didn't get?
You know it.
I know.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to collect all the different Cole Anthony rookie cards. I think I've got about 56 different varieties right now. There were two I saw that I didn't pick up, but one was a purple variant, purple cracked. I kind of meant to go back and get it.
And just, we forgot.
Forgot. I was too excited about the Basketball Hall of Fame. That let me down.
Yeah. Does anyone out there have a more prodigious collection of Cole Anthony than Peach?
Someone's gotta.
Yeah.
Someone.
But I mean, it's got to be someone listening to this pod. It
Right.
has
And
to
they
be a
probably
diehard.
have a lot of the high-end ones too, but I focus on low to mid.
Yeah.
Got a few highs. But
The breadth of your collection is
Right.
impressive.
thank you.
Yeah. All right, last one. This is supposed to be a quick segment.
All right, so yeah, last up. Okay, so usually at the end of when we record shows, I immediately change the studio. Did you notice?
Yes, I did actually this time because this Amway Center sign was not here when we recorded the first half. That little thing over there was there.
Yep.
Now the Pops were there. You haven't changed those, right?
I
Oh,
did.
you
Those are
did because you
different
had the classics over
Right.
there, and now you have the modern players.
Well, see, this
So
is a
I've
spoiler
noticed
alert
that.
for show 30. This
Yep.
will be what it looks like.
Oh,
Because I've already set it up.
all right. Well, now that we're set up, we'll see you. We'll see you in 2 weeks at episode 30.
Oh, we're gonna actually have basketball to talk about.
Yes, on Monday. So keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to do a live stream. We'd love to interact with you. We're going to try to set it up so it's a YouTube live stream, and we want to set up a number that people can actually call in where we can take phone calls live and put some of you all through the segments that we have on the show. Maybe a little fact or fiction, maybe a little starter backup bench, maybe a little fill in the blank. We'll see what happens.
How much is this gonna cost everybody?
Oh, it's free $99, my favorite
What?
price. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a 5-finger discount. It's a steal, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'd be fun to come join. We watch the games and have a lot of fun and say some of the jokes that we end up using on the show. So come be a part of it.
Yeah. All right. See you then, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Thanks for coming.